Good morning, everyone. It's Rose Coleman coming to you live from my craft room here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is Friday, March 21st, the second day of spring. Yesterday was indeed the first day of spring, and I'm loving the blue sky and the no snow. We still have snow on the ground, but I'm hoping that the weather is improving for us and we are only going to have blue skies ahead. However, I am not naive. I have lived in this city, this province long enough to know that we may still see the S word, but maybe not today. I got my coffee in my turtle mug and I am ready to get started playing with Botanical Textures Suite this entire week. And I have, like most weeks, fall in love with it more and more. The more you use your stamps and your supplies, the more you fall in love with them. Good morning, TJ. Good morning, Annika. Thank you for being here with us all the way from Netherlands for Annika, and TJ's here with us from Alberta. I love when you join me and you tell me where you're joining me from. Hello, Mary Bundy. Hello. How are you doing? Hi, Brenda from Trenton, Ontario. It's so nice to see you. Today I have a fun fold, and this one's called a hidden flap fun fold, and I'm inspired by the amazing Jackie Williams from New Zealand for this one. This one I think is, I love it because I'm going to show you, stay tuned to the end, I'll show you the recap of all the cards I've done this week. And I've also got a different orientation of it. You can do it both different ways, right? It was so good to see you too, Tony, at On Stage. This has been quite the week. Oh my goodness. Very tired. Thank gosh for coffee. It has kept me going this week. It's been a busy week here. Just getting back into routine. Re-entry is not easy. And I am super grateful that I am healthy. I have talked to many of my demonstrator friends who have come down with sickness, and I'm keeping them all in my prayers. I hear from some people that have the flu. One of my friends has what's called walking pneumonia, which sounds horrible. So pray for all I am praying for all my friends that they feel better. And I'm grateful that I am, knock on wood, okay. I didn't get sick. Tired, definitely tired, but that goes without saying. All of the activity we did last week, it was so exciting, both physically and mentally exciting and tiring. So I'm looking forward to getting some rest with my family this weekend. Hi, Marge. Hello, Kim. Thank you for joining me. Alrighty, yes, poor team members. Well, I don't think any of my team members got sick, not that I know of. I think we are all healthy. I took my vitamins with me and I was diligent. I took my vitamins every day. And we used our hand sanitizer. I know all of us team members tried to take care of one another, and hopefully it worked. And for those of you that aren't feeling well, I hope you get the rest you need and you feel better. I thank you, Linda. Yes, I pray for everyone that they all feel better soon and they can get back to what they love doing, which is stamping and scrapbooking and making fun things with our products, right? Okay, let's flip the camera. Good morning, Mary from Folsom, California. Good to have you with me. Alrighty, let's flip the camera and get started on this suite. I've got lots to share with you today, and I'll do a recap at the end of all 5 cards that I've done this week. It's been a blast. So very glad you had a wonderful time at On Stage. Yes, I certainly did. And put your mask on the plane. Yes, absolutely. One of my friends that has walking pneumonia, first thing was she posted about it, but first thing someone said was, oh, the airplane germs, and she actually drove. So there are germs everywhere, not just on the planes, right? There are germs wherever you go. So just please take care, everyone. My blouse goes well with this suite. Yes, okay. It is very botanical, isn't it? I always used to say that this was like, I don't know if you guys remember mint macaron. We used to have a color called mint macaron, and looking at my ink pads, I don't know what this would be, probably more pool party for the current colors. Alrighty, let's flip the camera. We're going to play with some fun colors again today. and some more products from the Botanicals Textures Suite. These rectangles have rocked my world this week, and I love them. Yes, the autocorrect. I know, I hear you, Marie. Good morning, Karen. Good morning. Hi, Joyce from Calgary. Good to have you with me. Alrighty, let's put the coffee down and get started. We're going to play with the Woven Textures Designer Series paper today. This suite has 2 packs of paper, right? It has the black and white paper that I've played with a lot this week. And it also has woven textures. The black and white one is called Botanical Textures, and the other one is called Woven Textures. So it has baskets, tweed, burlap kind of images, right? I've been playing with that one. So let's get started on our Friday, our Fun Fold Friday card. Here we go. Flippin'. Hello, Polly. Good to see you. I got to meet Polly. Polly was one of the ladies I got to meet in person. I got to meet several of you. Thank you for coming up and introducing yourself. Sometimes you think you recognize someone, but you're not quite sure. So it was really, really helpful for people to, it was helpful to have name tags, right? Because then we could just glance down at name tags and really confirm who you were chatting with. Okay, Botanicals Textures. Here's the entire suite. The code for the suite is 165563. I don't normally do suites. I do focus on bundles, but this one, I couldn't leave any part of the suite out because I think it's a really good collection, and I really think you're going to love having all the parts of the suite in your collection. Okay, so today we are going to play with the woven textures. Now, woven textures has a lot of different patterns, right? It has, as I mentioned, the burlappy kind of textures, the braided textures, the linen textures. I love, love, love this one. I have a placemat upstairs in my kitchen. Reminds me of it. This one here is like burlap. The flip side of, you get 3 sheets of each one too. So that's really, really cool. So this one here is like a braided pattern. And then the flip side it has a really fine, almost like a tweed or a linen pattern. And then we have, so there's like browns, and then we also have the grays. We have this sheet here, 3 of these sheets, which looks completely like wicker. And then the flip side is that beautiful round wicker. It's like you're looking at the lid or looking down the bottom of a basket. It's so, so amazing. No 2 pieces of paper as you chop this are going to be the same, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. I just want to frame this and put it on my wall because it's so pretty to look at. So this is the woven textures. Okay, so what are we going to make today? We are going to make the hidden flap card. For this card, I have basic gray, 2 pieces, okay? And I will get the measurements posted for you today so you can recreate this card, but you're going to need 2 pieces of whatever coordinating color cardstock you want, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay? One of the pieces I've scored at 2 3/4 and 4 1/8, and we're going to fold it back like that. This is going to be the fun fold mechanism right here. Okay, so I'm going to grab my bone folder and burnish those score lines. So burnish that one, and we'll burnish this inside one. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is bring in our pieces. We have some designer series paper and some white cardstock. So I have, let's just move these off to the side. I have a piece of white, and I have another piece of DSP that is going to go on top. Oh, we have 2 pieces of white. Let me just make sure I've chosen, yeah, the bigger piece of white. This one right here is going to be the matte for my DSP, like that. So this one here, the white, all the measurements will be on the PDF. It's a tutorial that will include the video link as well as the measurements so that you can make as many of these cards as you want. So this white, I'm just looking at my scraps, is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and the designer series paper is just slightly smaller, 2 1/2 by 4. Okay, so let's get the glue flowing here, and we'll get this mounted onto the white piece. And again, you can change all of these colors and designs to match whatever product suite you're playing with. and make this your own, right? Okay, so there's my piece. This is the center flap part. This is going to be my inside for my inside greeting. And then we've got 2 more pieces of DSP. So we're going to just flip these over, and you can do whatever pattern you want. I'm going to use the straight wicker pattern on the front of my card. Okay, so let's work with this piece right here. So we've got these 2 little pieces. So this is the mechanism of the fun fold. All I want to do here is put glue on the flap, like so. Put your liquid glue there, and I'm using quite a bit because I'm going through a couple of layers. I've got white and I got DSP, and it's also going to be the moving part, so I don't want it to be, I want it to be strong. So I'm just laying this on top here, press down so that the glue has a chance to adhere. And then you can see, here's the flap, okay? So you can see like the aerial shot there. So now what we want to do is we're going to bring in that piece of basic gray. I don't even know if I told you the color. This is basic gray. You could use white, you could use gray granite. I think I see all of the grays in this designer series paper. It's not listed on the packaging, but it is it listed? Let me just double check. I think for the woven, oh yeah, it is. Basic beige, crumb cake, early espresso, gray granite, and pecan pie. So I went off the grid and I brought in basic gray for a little bit of a darker shade, but that, I think it works. I think it works. Okay, so we're putting the 2 pieces of DSP on either end of this piece. And now this piece is going to be centered in the middle. So let's flip that over and put the glue on the back. Now, if you're watching this replay on YouTube, you can feel free to pause and replay as many times as you want if you're at home. If you're in Canada and you place your minimum $60 order with me using the code at the top of the screen before Sunday, the 23rd of March, you're going to get my card packages. So if you're watching the replay, perhaps you want to pause the video and then go at your own pace. That's the beauty of video, right? You can actually pause and follow along. So here we have the structure of the card. Okay, so we've got that hidden flap there. And then, so now you can actually have your card going horizontal, or you can do vertical. I'm going to do this one vertical. I'm going to turn it, and it's going to actually open up like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a beautiful color from the In Colors that we still have these for a year. We're bringing in Petunia Pop. So I have used the Textured Notes dies, and I pulled in, let's see, the 3rd largest one, this one right here, and I've cut this layer of Petunia Pop, okay? And then the next smaller one, this is the beauty of these dies, you can make as many layers as you want. I've cut using basic white, okay? So you're going to need this bundle in your collection to be able to do your cards, because I'm going to send you the bulk cardstock, and then you can cut your own rectangles, whichever ones you want, okay? So we've got those 2. As well, we're going to do a little stamping, and we're going to use this rectangle right here to cut out our greeting. So you're going to need a little piece of scrap white. So let me grab that. Let's see, what was, oh, and this piece is another piece for the inside of your white, so you can do a little bit of stamping and your greeting. Okay, so I'm going to grab some, let's do the stamping first. Always stamp before you cut, right? So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap white, and in your kit, in case you're not familiar with this, when you receive kits from me and it means you have to stamp and die cut, the corner will be snipped off. So if you're ever looking at a piece and you're like, what's this piece for? If the corner is snipped off, that's your indication that, oh, I'm supposed to stamp and then die cut, okay? So we're gonna grab our greeting here, and we're gonna stamp the greeting from the stamp set. Let me show you Textured Notes. Okay, so this item code here, 1655566750, is for the bundle. Let me grab the dies again. You're going to get the stamps and the dies 10% off when you use that code right there on the stamp set. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a little note of appreciation on my scrap white. We're going to bring in Memento, and we're going to stamp. So tap, 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 stamp on my scrap white, straight down and straight up. Alrighty, and then let's see. We're going to grab our die. I think this is the only die cut I'll need to do this morning, so that's pretty cool because I already had these ones cut out. So we're going to just put that onto my machine with a little bit of Post-it tape to hold it in place. All the geese are flying around outside. I can hear them in my yard. The Canada geese, yay! Okay, so here we go. We've got that. Now we're going to just put this stuff off to the side while I run it through my machine. Hi, Darcy. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. All right. I'm missing some of your comments, but that's okay. I will come back. Not understanding your comment. I scrapbook, so I really don't care what measurements are on the paper. You can make anything work if you don't. Yeah. Okay. You guys are just commenting, but I'm missing some of them, so I'm not going to comment right now, but I do read all the comments at the end. So I will come back to you if you have a question for me, or if perhaps someone else is trying to answer, I will clarify. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, so I'm running this through so I get that rectangle shape to cut out. Alrighty. And we'll just swipe that. Okay. Alrighty. Hello. Hi, Elise from Virginia. Hello. Okay, let's get back to it here. Okay, so we're taking this Post-it tape off and removing the die cut. And we're going to, there's our greeting. Okay, so that's actually going to be the inside greeting. So let's bring back our parts. We've got our petunia pop layer. We've got a white layer that's going to go on the petunia pop. And then we've got a layer for the inside. In case you're just joining, my orientation is going to go vertical like this. So I'm going to stamp on this piece of white is going to be on the front. So it's going to be matted onto the petunia pop. It's going to go on the front of the card. This is for the inside. So let's do the front first. So this card, I want to say thank you. We're going to bring in Petunia Pop ink, and we're going to stamp that beautiful thank you. I love the font they've chosen for the stamp set. Let me show you what it looks like here. It's this one right here. I'm going to stamp that just above the corner here, like that. Okay, and then we're going to bring in, I like the neutral colors, so we're going to bring in our smoky slate. I'm trying to work with the colors that are in the designer series paper. So we're going to stamp that basket image. Love this one, it's so detailed. So there we go, there's that one. Okay, so we're going to stamp one there, and let's make it symmetrical and do another one up here. And then we're going to grab Summer Splash. Oh, we're working with the in colors that were introduced last year in 2024. So we still have these for another year, so you can still continue to enjoy them. Okay, so we're bringing in the big sprig. We're going to stamp that down here in the white space. And then we'll bring in the small sprig. Look at these colors together. So pretty. And, you know, I was looking at this card and then I was thinking, how could we incorporate the colors that are leaving? This could be Pebbled Path. You could do Moody Mauve here, right? If you wanted to, and make a pretty card. Okay, so I think that's good. We're going to just maybe do another one over here. Little sprig sticking in. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now I did rinse up my chamois cloth. So when you buy the Glass Mat Studio, if you're new, the Glass Mat Studio, many of you ask me about the stamping surface that I'm using. This is a Glass Mat Studio, and it comes with this chamois cloth. And all you need to do is rinse it and squeeze out the extra water. It just has water, so there's no harmful chemicals. And you can clean up your stamps, you can clean up your glass mat, and it just makes life easy. Okay, so this is going to go on to the Petunia Pop layer. So let's add a little bit of glue to the back of this. And you really don't need very much glue at all. Just a small amount, and we'll put that onto our Petunia Pop layer. And I love the detail I can't say enough about the detail of these rectangles. They are so amazing. Okay, so that's going to be the front of my card. The inside of my card is going to, so the front is going to go on, let's just put that on right now. So I want to take my card base like this, and I want to make sure it's centered all the way around, top, bottom, and the sides. So the easiest way to do that is to put the glue in the middle of this front panel. And I'm determined not to say goodbye to this glue because I know there's a lot still in here. The liquid glue, the Tombow multi-purpose glue is so amazing, and it never lets me down. Okay, so I've got my glue on there. Then I'm going to take the rectangle and I'm going to gently place it on the glue and center it. There we go. Okay, so then this can open like that. So fun. Okay, so this piece is going to go on the inside. Okay, so we can just, let's see here, fold this back like that if you need to have it flat. And then this is going to be the inside right here. So you can write your greeting on here. You can also do some stamping, which I'm going to do. I love to use the stamps and to add a little bit more to the inside. So let's bring back that beautiful basket again, and we'll stamp another one down there, keeping in mind the design that I used on the front. I'm going to pull a little bit of that into the middle here. So let's do some greenery down here and a little bit up here. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now we'll clean up our glass mat again, and then we're going to take this greeting that we stamped and we cut using the small rectangle. We're going to pop that up with dimensionals because this is going to be the wedge to help our, this is like an easel card. It's a hidden flap easel card. So we're going to add a couple of dimensionals on this rectangle here. And then we're going to mount that. Actually, what I'm going to do is put my liquid glue on this piece. And we're going to put that inside the card first. Put my lid on my glue and then bring back the card base. We're going to put this right in here. Open her up. There we go. And we'll put this right here in this spot. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut additional pieces of designer series paper and put up here if you wanted to. You could put a little piece of tear and tape and attach a gift card. That would be a fun little surprise for the recipient. This is going to stand like so. When someone gets this card and they want to display it on their mantle or wherever, I want it to be able to be popped up. So I'm going to put that rectangle right there on dimensionals, and then it's going to serve as a little wedge, a little ledge, wedge, whatever you want to call it. So here I'll show you the side profile of this easel card. This is what it'll look like when it's sitting on a table or a desk. If you sent that to someone at their office, they would have this on their desk and they would catch it out of the corner of their eye and they would think of you. So fun, hey? And then to fold it back down, it folds flat and it fits into our regular size envelopes. I love it. Okay, one last thing for this one. We need some bling, right? So, excuse me. I'm bringing in the In Color resin dots, and I've used and loved these for the last couple of years, and I still get, or last year, and I still get time to play with them. So I'm going to bring in the Petunia Pop ones, and I'm going to use 3 of them. So let's open this up. It's fun to put dimensionals, or to put embellishments is the word I'm looking for, on the inside too. So I'm going to grab a big one and put it right down there on the greeting, the inside greeting. Then I'm going to grab a couple of smaller ones and close up the card. We're going to put one right there, grab another one. I like to use my take your pick tool to pick up my bling from the top like that. There we go. And you could also use Summer Splash. So these are the colors, right? You have your Summer Splash here. So if you wanted to mix it up and put green and pink, you could. I got 2 of mine that want to stick together here. Let's get those where they're supposed to be. They're trying to scatter about. Okay, so then the other in colors we have are Pretty in Pink, peach pie, shy shamrock, petunia pop, and then summer splash. So all of those beautiful colors, we get to play with them for another year, because in colors stay with us for 1 year, for 2 years, right? So we've already had 1 year with these beauties, and we get another year. So there's that. Look at the rectangles, so fun. And you can, Mary says, I imagine a butterfly. You could put a butterfly. If you have a butterfly in your collection, you could totally put one on there from another bundle or suite. Let me share with you the other orientation that I did. I did this way. I didn't embellish this one yet, but you can open it this way. And there's my room for more writing. I didn't make this one a wedge. Just because the way that the greetings were going. But this one here, you could make the wedge, put it on dimensionals, and have it as an easel. I think this one's my favorite. Yes, a butterfly would be perfect. I agree, Patty. Petunia pop really does stand out, right? I love this color. It's such a soft pink color. Okay, so let me close up my ink pads here, and I will bring in all of the cards that I've done this week. This week has gone by really fast, I must say. We started off the week with the textured notes, the Botanical Textures Suite. And the first day of the week, we were playing with Global Design Project Challenge. And I don't have the graphic here with me, but we were casing the designer, Jay Soriano. And his card had a really nice section in the center here, and it was with petal pink. So I cased the colors and the layout of Jay's card. So we did this one. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you, everyone. And then we did, there's the inside. So that was Monday's card. Tuesday, we pivoted and we pulled in a swap card that I received. Can you see the sparkle there on the twigs? And I cased a card from a fellow demonstrator. For this one, I loved the black and white. This shows the gems that you get with the suite, the ribbon, the 1/4-inch ribbon. And also you get, when you buy the entire suite, you receive the mini corrugated paper, embossing folder, and also the gems. These are the neutral matte dots, right? You're going to get a whole package of those. So that's included. I wanted to pull those in. So that was Tuesday's card. Wednesday, I wanted to chat with you about the colors that are leaving. So we brought in Moody Mauve, a little bit of Blackberry Bliss is staying, but Moody Mauve is leaving. So we're using the jute, the ink for Moody Mauve, and I also used the Moody Mauve blends to color the neutral matte dots. You can color these with your blends. So you could color the vanilla, or you could color the white ones. So I colored the white ones using my Moody Mauve blend. And the inside of this one, we pulled in the Moody Mauve and the Blackberry Bliss and the crumb cake. All right, so that was our second one. And look at the patterns. Oh, I didn't even tell you the biggest feature of this one is the background. I used the rectangle dies to cut this one and then all three of these. And you can see how you can stack them on a beautiful card like that. Yesterday was Thursday, and I had to play with Melon Mambo in black, and I made my own designer series paper here with the white, with the Memento ink. Then we did some more cutting. You can see that beautiful black card, basic black cardstock cut using the rectangles. There's another rectangle going that way, another rectangle going horizontal, and yet another rectangle for the greeting. And this is the white 1/4-inch ribbon. I used the Melon Mambo blends to color it and let it dry. It takes just a few seconds. And there's, thank you, you're seriously the best. You can use all the greetings on one card here. So that is Thursday. And then today is Friday. We pulled in Petunia Pop and Summer Splash and some basic gray to make this beautiful, what is it called again? Sorry, the hidden flap, and I made it into an easel card. There we go. Alrighty, thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy. Janet says I used your cute Tuesday card as inspiration for my card class last night, and the ladies loved it. We did it using pink and White. Yes, absolutely. You can use any of these cards as inspiration. Sometimes it's the layout that speaks to us. Sometimes it's the colors that someone uses. Lots and lots of inspiration, right? I love Melon Mambo and Black, so I always try to figure out how to do that, put that together, and I had a blast playing with this entire product suite. I'm so happy that I included this suite into my collection, and I'm going to keep on using it. I am a scrapbooker, and I have lots of pictures from last week's event. So I think this would be a fun product suite to pull in those photos and scrapbook and get those memories in my scrapbooks so that I can write about it. One of the most important parts of scrapbooking is to journal and to write down details that you think you're going to remember always, but you don't, right? So take your regular pen and write down the details of what the pictures are about. You will thank me later when you flip through your scrapbooks and your memory books and you're like, oh yes, I remember that funny moment, right? And enjoy it for years to come. That's what memory keeping is all about. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me this morning. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for coming back. I wish you a fantastic weekend, and don't forget the deadline to place your order if you live in Canada is midnight on Sunday if you would like to get these 5 card packages. All right, everyone, take care. I wish you a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday morning at 9 o'clock Mountain Time for my next card. Bye for now.